Good evening and welcome to News Channel 8. I'm Jerome Aegean, and in tonight's top story, crime and the governor's address that he made yesterday on St. Thomas. We go there now with Lee Carl.
Crime, guns, gunshots in neighborhoods, killings. Are we making progress? That was a question I asked the governor. As you look at the crime situation, every day there's a shooting, there are guns, AK-47s. I want to get your feel at this moment as to what kind of progress we're making. We hear that we're making progress, yet the neighborhoods continually say there are gunshots, people being killed, whatever, drive-by shootings.
And you know, the one thing I have tried not to do, since I stand here on occasion and make speeches all the time, is not to try to find excuses or to make excuses for the environment of where we, what is happening right now, because one murder, one person getting killed, there's no excuse in either case. The question is, how are we going to solve it, and what are the deterrents that we're going to put in place? There are things that we can do better, and the things that we're making sure to do better. But I do believe that in terms of responding when gunshots are going off at 2 o'clock in the morning, we do respond. In some cases, we're not told because individuals may not feel comfortable telling exactly who is doing the shooting. In some areas, they have told us, and we've put those individuals in jail. We had a murder the other day. A family lost someone, lost a father, and this community lost someone very much involved. We were extremely responsive and caught who was doing it within a 72-hour period of time. There are no excuses for what's happened other than, and I say this quite sincerely, as a community, there are many more things we need to start doing to address our young people, both in terms of education, both in terms of opportunities. We're losing them too young. They're not looking at the value in many areas, whether it be because of parenting, whether it be because of opportunities they feel they don't have available. The police are going to get to them after the fact, and we're doing the job of that. We're taking more guns off the street, but at the same time, we still have more airlines coming into the territory that are bringing them in, and passengers who have it. We're trying to work with TSA. We're trying to work through organizations in the states to look at programs that we can put in place where we know someone is bringing a gun into the territory. We're working with respect with the National Guard. Every time I meet with armed forces, talking to them about border patrol, about immigration, everything that we can do to close our borders, get the resources that are necessary so we control what's coming in. We have started community integration teams on all 3 islands so that folks within neighborhoods talk to us about what's taking place, and they have feedbacks to the commissioner and to the chief of police in many cases, which we're forming the neighborhood organizations to make sure that the communities feel comfortable. Crime Stoppers has started. People are beginning to call in and give us tips as to how we should respond or where we should go to be able to do that. And to make sure that I hear what's going on, the community integration teams with the police are headed by the chief and the commissioner, but in all cases my office is involved so that they know that they'll come directly to me in terms of what's taking place. So there's no, the statistics are down with respect to the murders from last year. Our arrest rates are up. But at the same time, there's no excuse for what's continuing to happen. And I won't make any excuses other than the fact that we have to continue to be much more diligent in what's happening, and at the same time, build the trust of the community so they will tell us what's going on.
And in other top stories tonight, Alan Stanford has turned himself in yesterday in West Virginia. How does that affect us here in the Caribbean? And that's the focus. We turn now to our ABC affiliates.
Texas financier Robert Allen Stanford, who had been missing following news of his alleged $8 billion fraud, has been found. No charges in connection with the case have been filed against Stanford just yet, but he has turned in his passport. Regulators also begun seizing some of his property, including 6 luxury jets his company's owned and his 120-foot yacht that's been kept in the Caribbean. The SEC is also expected to seize Stanford's mansion on the island of St. Croix. Sources tell us the FBI is also investigating whether Stanford was laundering money for Mexican drug cartels.
Well, is the check in the mail? That's the question on most of our minds with the stimulus relief package. News Channel 8 goes to Lee Carl, who addressed those questions with the governor.
Governor Lee Carl, Lucky 13 and WSTA and Channel 8. I guess I was with the delegate the other day in which we asked a number of questions along the lines you're talking about. But the big question is, again, from the average person in the street, when can we see the money? What's the timetable, as far as you know?
Well, the timetable depends on the section of the bill. From our standpoint, the timetable is immediate. There are certain parts of the bill that require that we submit applications and the departments release the money. So we're beginning to put those together right now. Some are within the department. For example, there's the food stamp program, which Commissioner Finch is working on, and that's an established program. In other cases, there are some projects to which are shovel-ready. So it's a combination of depending on what the program is, but it is something that we will be able to see some impact within the next 30 to 45 days, particularly since we're looking to establish this office to make sure that we take advantage of it.
In St. Thomas, Lee Carl for News Channel 8.
Well, the Diageo deal has been confirmed, and 100 acres of land here on St. Croix has been purchased. News Channel 8's Glenn Drake has an interview with Senator Nellie O'Reilly.
Senator O'Reilly, I know you're in your 100 days here in the legislature. I know going into the legislature, you were, one of your philosophies, just get the work done. How has it been for you so far? Have you been getting a lot of cooperation to achieve some of your objectives?
Absolutely. We are getting the work done regardless of, what limitations we might encounter or challenges we might encounter. I tell you that we're very, very pleased with the staff that we selected. We spoke about making the process available and open to the public, so we accepted applications for for the positions in the office, and we've brought on board 3 individuals who are extremely bright, and they hit the ground running. So our staff is very, very engaged. We're all very busy. We're still waiting to hear from legal counsel on some of the draft requests that we submitted on the day we were sworn in, and then we'll be able to talk more about the legislations that we are trying to promote. But I said it, I'm going to be the loudest chatterbox around, and you can put me in a trash can, you can put the lid on it, you can stand on it, and that's still not going to stop me.
Let me ask you a quick question before we go. The Diageo, they just acquired the land, the 100 acres at the St. Croix Renaissance Complex. What's your opinion on the Diageo deal? I know you were vocal on that.
I was vocal on that. I read the agreement, and I felt that the way that they are that the sales are supposed to ramp up, I don't think we are going to generate the revenues that the governor spoke about in the State of the Territory address. But when I heard that they are leasing the property from the St. Croix Renaissance, my concern is that what will happen is once Diageo is running and perhaps decides 10, 15, 20 years down the road that they are going to cease operations, then who owns that facility? Then it becomes the property of the St. Croix Renaissance? Is that what happens? And so I do have questions about that. I read something about they're going to be paying, $25 million per acre? Or $25,000 an acre, I'm sorry. And then that will ramp up after 5 years. I'm not sure that it was a wise decision, because at the end of the day, it may end up becoming property of the St. Croix Renaissance.
So we'll see what happens on that.
We'll see what happens. The jury is still out.
Okay. All right, thank you so much, and thank you for your time.
Thank you.
In the legislature, I'm Glenn Drake for News Channel 8.
And in addition to that, Senator Nellie O'Reilly has invited the Virgin Islands public to visit her office tomorrow.
Yeah, I wanted to take this opportunity to remind the people of St. Croix that our office will be open on Saturday from 9 to 1. That is this Saturday. It's open house from 9 in the morning until 1 p.m. You can come visit with us, and we can talk with you about your concerns and any issues that you'd like us to address. Thank you.
And for more information on Senator O'Reilly's open house, you can contact her office at 773-2424. Stay with us on News Channel 8. We have more news after the break.